Good morning. So today we're going to be looking at the final ACP review. So the first type of question is when they're giving you a graph with 2 points where it crosses the intersection points, and then they're giving you 4 options, right? So what you do is you're gonna go to the graph option in the calculator, and then you type each of the answer in. If they start with y equals, you can do delete relation and then see if they match it the graph that they given right here. Now if they look similar, then your next step is to check the intersection point. So here we have the first one is right here, the second one is -9 and -5. So you're gonna type menu A13 on the graph. After you have put them on, and you click on, like, use the cursor and go to then click on it, and then it's gonna show you the points, and it should matches the graph that you given. In this case we have D is the answer. Okay, move on to the next type. When you have inequalities, that means whenever you have the graph are being shaded. So here you have 2 lines, the dotted line, they're both dotted, and they shade, like the first one shaded up, the second one shaded down, and they meet in the middle. So this is where they intersect. So we call this is solutions of these 2 graphs. Okay, so the way that you do it is you're going to go to the graph and then hit delete and choose relation, which is option 6, and then you type each of them in the way it is, and then whoever that meet in the middle that's shaded together look like this, that means that's the right answer. Okay, the next one is whenever they ask you which expression represents the complete factorization of 3x to the power 3 plus 5x squared minus 27x minus 45. Now you can do this by hand by grouping the first 2 and the last 2 together and then factor out the greatest common factor. But in this case, if you want to check with the graph, then you go to graph and you type in the original, this, then you're gonna type in each of the answer using tab. Okay, and then you put each of them in, whoever that giving you the same graph, there is the answer. However, since they say this is complete factorization, you're not gonna pick the one with the x squared because they can be factored one more time, right? That's not complete. So A and B is not complete. So you type it in, each of the answer, like C and D. D is the same graph like the original. Therefore, we say D is the right answer. It's a complete factor. Okay? So that is a graph. Next type of question, we have the system of equations. When you have the total number of coins is 187, consists of nickel, dimes, and quarters. So remember, nickels is letter N, dime is D, and quarter is Q, right? So we have 3 letters. Each of them represent a variable. So the number of nickel plus number of dime plus number of quarter equals 187 coins. Next, she have twice as many nickels as dime. In this case, twice means 2 times. The nickel comes first in the sentence, so that will be more. So nickels is by itself on the left, equals twice number of dimes, so 2D. Okay, third one is about the value. The value means the total money is 30.80. So you're gonna multiply the nickel with its value in dollars, which is $0.05, and this is 0.10. Quarter is 0.25. You multiply with each of them and you total them up by adding, equals 30.80. Now to solve this system of equation, you do menu 3, 2 in the calculator, type each of them in the way it is, make sure you change the variable into N, D, and Q, and since the question asking for how many nickels, so that means you're gonna select the one that you label N, 58. Next we have factoring, sum of cube and difference of cubes. So the only thing different is the sign. Like the sum start with adding, and then the difference start with subtracting. Okay. Okay, so the way that we're doing this is you're gonna look at the numbers and see what number raised to the power of 3 give you 125, what number raised to the power of 3 give you 8. And remember, we have the list of number. 1 to the power of 3 is 1, 2 to the power of 3 is 8. You should have memorized. 3 to the power of 3 is 27, 4 to the power of 3 is 64, 5 to the power of 3 is 125. So here 125 does mean 5 to the power of 3, right? And then 8 is 2 to the power of 3, so that's gonna be 2 right here. So here we have 2x and 5x and 2y. So that will be our first term right here. That's a is 5x, b is 2y. So according to the formula right here, we're gonna have 5x plus 2y. That's a plus b, 2y. And then squared a, so that means square root of 5x right here. When you square 5x, you got 25x squared. The middle term will be a opposite sign, so you multiply these two. 2 times 5 is 10. X times y is xy, so minus 10xy. And then always positive at the end. You're gonna square the second term. 2y squared gives you 4y squared. Alright, so that's our complete sentence, complete answer. When you multiply back, 5x times 25 will give you 125, and 2y times 4y to the power of 3 will give you 8y to the power of 3. Alright, so the answer was A. Okay, next we have the function that's transformation. So basically they're gonna give us a parent graph, which is absolute value of x, being transformed to create a graph of g of x equals f x minus 1 plus 6. So remember, we have the equation is a x minus h and plus k, where you have a is going it's gonna tell you is it vertical, compress, or stretch, and then inside h telling you is going left or going right. K is up and down. So if you have x minus, you go right, and then at the end you have plus 6, mean you go up 6. So the answer is translate right 1 and up 6 comparing to the original. Okay, so that's how it is. Alright, for example, this problem also, you have the original graph, and then you got change into the new graph. And 1 over 5 is smaller than 1, therefore it's vertical compression. And then there's nothing in the middle, but there's minus 2 at the end. So you're gonna transform your graph down 2. Okay, so vertically compress by a factor of 1/5, and then translate 2 units down to create a new graph. Now, this is the problem about transformation, but they didn't give us a new graph, so we gotta create one. So based on the problem, we have the f of x equal x squared, so that's our original. That's called quadratic equation. Okay, and the g of x is the one that we need to create right here. This is the general form, a parenthesis x minus h. Since this one has square, you have to put a square at the end, and then plus k. Now, based on the problem, we have reflection over the x-axis, means there's a negative in front of the equation. Vertically stretched by a factor of 3, means it's 3 times like long, higher. So we have negative 3. And then translation right, mean x minus 2. And don't forget the square, because that's a basic equation that's given as the new one. And then up 1 means you add 1 at the end. Now, this is not the end, because they asked us to evaluate g of negative 5, which means the x is being replaced by negative 5. So to plug everything in the way it is right here, and the calculator should give you the answer is negative 146.